What's up, y'all? Chris from NoLimitSquad, your personal Isochain and fitness vlogging channel. Today we're gonna cover time mode, another of the crazy modes on the Isochain. I cover it a little bit in the 4 modes of the Isochain video, which you can find right here. Go ahead and check that out. Highly recommend it. It's one of my older videos. I'm gonna go into time mode in depth. This is really the mode that you need to build either muscular hypertrophy or muscular endurance. They are almost the same, but not really. Cover that in a different video. Let's get into it. I'm gonna turn the unit on for us, and you can see right here it's set to 00. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to press the time mode function here. So you see how there's no letters here? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this time mode. Did you see that T just show up right there? Now I'm in time mode. So now what I can do here is I can go ahead and set up how much time we want to be under tension. Remember, one of the biggest principles to developing lean muscle mass is TUT. Time under tension. It's not the only one for developing a lot of muscular size or muscular hypertrophy, but it's one of the most important factors for sure. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna adjust the time that we are under tension, because by default the Isochain is set to 6 seconds, which is the best time under tension frame for developing a lot of strength. If you guys have seen my TikTok videos, as of May, the end of May, around Memorial Day, I was focusing a lot on just showing off a lot of the strength lifts, but not too much on hypertrophy. So now what we do, we hit the time button and you hold it. So I'm gonna hold it in. See that? Now it just went to 6. Say I want to hold a contraction for more than 6 seconds. So what I do is I just hit these up and down arrows. All right, so these are seconds. Okay, so if I want to hold it for, let's just say 20 seconds, right? I just set it to 20. It's going to blink twice and release. And now it's set to 20. Let's say I want to hold a contraction with about 15 pounds of force for 20 seconds. So now I got the time part set. I have to set up the weight part. So what you do here, as long as this says T here, you're in time mode. Now all you do is hit up. That's the amount of weight that is set on right now. So I'm gonna set it all the way down to 20 pounds. Okay, so 20 pounds is gonna blink twice. Boom, boom, and set. And you know it's still at the T for time mode. You see it over there? So now, again, just like with load mode, if you want to check to make sure that it's at 20 pounds of force, you just hit the up arrow. So I'm gonna show you. See that? And it's gonna blink twice. It's just to check. Boom. Now, I don't have the chain, but as long as you're pulling here, it doesn't matter, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. Holding it, holding it, holding it, holding it. And I gotta hold it for 20 seconds. So as long as it's beeping, it's going to register that I'm holding this with over 20 pounds of force. So you heard that little beep at the end? So that lets me know that I finished the contraction. It sounds for 2 seconds when you do the last second of the contractions. Really good tech here. I really love that. I mean, it's perfect for muscular hypertrophy. For muscular hypertrophy on the Isochain, we're talking about static contractions. Yes, static contractions and dynamic contractions are totally different, but you can still get swole on them. All right, so the goal, 20 to 45 seconds that you want to stay on the Isochain for muscular hypertrophy. The raw strength gains is 6 seconds. So this is entirely different. Load mode isn't really that effective for going for the muscular hypertrophy. That's why we have time mode. It is excellent for that type of thing. So now we can do our 3 sets of 20 to 45 seconds. So let's say we are really trying to get swole and we're trying to do our bicep curl, right? Instead of holding for 6 seconds and just doing a 3x6, where we do 3 sets of 6-second contractions, we go for 3 sets of 20 to 45 seconds. That is an entirely different ball game there. Entirely different. So what we're going for here is we're going for anywhere between 60 to 85% of our 1 rep max or absolute strength. In the Isochain and static contractions worlds, it's called AS, absolute strength. It's different from 1 rep max, which is the dynamic equivalent of AS, absolute strength. So with our absolute strength, we're going for 60 to 85% of our absolute strength. Something to keep in mind, when we're using load mode for those raw, absolutely crazy strength gains, we're putting everything we have into the Isochain bar for 6 seconds. Does that work? Yes. That's talking about force generated. Is that going to strengthen up your tendons? Yes. Is that going to make you stronger? Yes. Is that going to make your muscle fibers denser? Yes, yes, and yes. Totally, absolutely, that's gonna work. Has anyone on the squad ever done a wall sit? Have you ever done a plank? Have you ever done the 6 inches exercise to target the lower abs and the hip flexors? Those are brutal, and those are different types of isometric exercises called yielding isometric exercises, where you are fighting gravity. Gravity is trying to push you down. This is the overcoming isometric version of those types of exercises. That makes sense? This is way more effective. And we just didn't have a really accurate way to pull a stunt like this off until we added features like that. Because it's not just the force gauge that makes the Isochain good, it's time mode itself. Having that second feature there, having the weight load limit there, having the machine beep as soon as you lose that contraction force, it stops beeping. That is huge. That is totally going to allow for the muscle to be completely fatigued, allowing enough damage for it to then adapt to that response and grow larger. That's what we need. We need time under tension principles. We've already had a NoLimitSquad member who's been working on almost exclusively time mode since he purchased his Isochain. Here's the link right here. Go ahead and check that out. He did fantastic in his 4 months. You can definitely see the difference. It's modes like this on the Isochain where you really start to realize it's not just a bar and chain device with a force gauge on it. This is the real deal. There is the tech. That's why the price, it holds its value, because of these types of modes, because of these types of intense training sessions that those modes now allow us to have access to. It's absolutely amazing. Have you used time mode? Comment in the comment section below. You know what it's really great for? It's really great for those weightlifters that are looking to get swole. They just want the size, they want all the cuts. You can get all that and more with time mode. I'm gonna warn you, isometric hypertrophy, that burns. But the progressive overload is now there. Before, on this type of training device, the progressive overload was very difficult to achieve because of lack of force readout, because of lack of any type of display to thereby gauge how much force is being exerted. Cortical inhibition. If you don't know what cortical inhibition is, there's a link right there. Check that out. That is important. The loading reflex, all that stuff is taken care of now. That one simple mode, time mode. If you like the content, be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment, and if you're not yet part of NoLimitSquad, hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.